Hey guys, Will and Gary here. Today we're going to be talking about powder charge. But before I get into that, Gary, can you tell us the safe way to store your powder? Or is there?
Big thing with powder is temperature extremes.
Okay.
At home in Arizona, it's hot.
Okay.
I keep my powder inside of a ice box or a cooler just to insulate it.
Okay. So being in South Carolina, I mean, we have super high humidity. So any real factors there?
Not really. Okay. Powder really doesn't gain or lose a whole lot of weight in moisture. So that's a non-issue.
And how about, we have kids. I want the little kids to do this with me. This is a family affair. Is there any safety precautions that I'd have to do for having kids around the house?
Don't let them smoke when they're handling powder.
Okay, that's a good one. Definitely don't want that.
Yeah. Basically, it's just heat source, open flame.
Okay.
Smokeless powder is not explosive.
Okay.
It burns progressively. So it's like setting a piece of paper on fire, except it burns faster and hotter and higher flame.
Okay, perfect. All right, guys. Well, little tip for you. Let's get to it.
Okay, first we're going to fill the hopper about 2/3 full.
All right. 2/3, you said?
About 2/3.
Okay.
That should be good.
All right.
And one trick about smokeless powder and some plastics, like clear plastics, if you leave the powder in the clear hopper for an extended period, the residual chemicals in the powder used during the manufacture will cause the plastic to darken and discolor.
Okay.
So when you're done loading, if it's going to be a few days before you reload again, dump the powder back into the original container.
Okay. Perfect. Put the case back on, or the top?
Yeah, put the lid on, but you don't need to put it tight, because what we're going to do next is there's a baffle in the bottom of this clear plastic hopper to help keep an even amount of powder in there.
Okay.
So we're going to use a prime case, and we're just going to cycle this powder measure 10 times and just dump the powder back into the hopper before we begin weighing. That's just to settle the powder under the baffle.
Okay, perfect. Okay, what am I doing now?
Okay, now take that case out of the shell plate.
Okay.
And just dump it back up into the top.
Oh, hence why you said don't put that on tight. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then repeat the process?
Yep.
Now, what's the purpose of doing this?
This settles the powder underneath the baffle so that you're gonna, when we start weighing powder, it's gonna be consistent drop.
Okay. Now, this is a brand new machine. Do you recommend this every time you put that tool head on? What's your...
Yeah, every time you put the tool head on and add powder to the measure, before you get started, always settle the powder under the baffle. Okay, now let's weigh that powder charge.
Okay. So we're gonna come over to our Dillon scale here. Turn that on.
Okay, and wait for it to zero. We're in grains.
Yeah.
So pour the powder out of the case into the silver pan.
That's cool. And we're at 3.4 grams.
Oh, grains.
Grains. We're at grains. We are at 3.4 grains.
Yeah. And to give you an idea, a grain is not a granule of powder. A grain is a unit of measurement. There's 7,000 grains in 1 pound of powder.
Okay.
And weighing a powder charge, you're weighing down to 1/10 of 1 grain, so 1/70,000th of a pound. So it's a pretty precise measurement.
Okay, cool. So what do we do with that?
Okay, now let's look at our loading manual.
Okay.
This is our cookbook.
Oh.
Now we are using a Berry's hollow base round nose 124 grain bullet, exactly as listed in here.
Okay.
It's a Hodgson brand powder, and the type of powder is CFE pistol.
Yeah.
Now they list a starting load, which is the safest minimum load at 4.9 grains, and they list a maximum load at 5.5 grains.
Okay, so we want to be in between there, correct?
Yeah, you generally want to start in between, because the lightest load is not necessarily going to cycle your firearm.
Right.
So you don't want to make 500 rounds at the lightest and then go out and find out it doesn't work in your firearm.
Okay. So with that, we want to come in, what, about 5?
Yeah, 5.2, somewhere in there.
Okay.
So
perfect.
we're at 3.4 now.
Okay.
So grab the wrench.
Okay.
And we're going to turn this bolt clockwise to increase the powder charge.
Now, turning, how much am I turning?
Let's go 1 full turn. So that's about 2/3. Okay.
Okay. Now, should I dump this powder back?
Yeah, dump that powder back into the hopper.
Okay.
Let's grab that prime case.
All right.
Put it,
Back on. Put that there.
and then we're going to cycle it, and then we're going to dump that back because we made an adjustment, so we don't want to test the first one.
Gotcha. Okay, that's a good tip. Would have never known that. I would have just tested that one.
And now let's weigh this one.
Weigh this one? Okay, so we want to be around 5'2".
Yeah.
Oh, we are
Getting closer.
We are getting closer. 4'7". So, with that being said, we want to go probably
Let's
almost
go.
a full turn, right? A
Let's
little
go
bit shy.
about a half a turn.
Half turn. Okay.
Want to walk up.
Okay. Let's get that.
And just like before, let's cycle one, throw it back, and then weigh the next.
Okay, Gary, I'm feeling good about this one. Feeling real good.
Alrighty, we're at 5'3". Maximum is 5'5". So we're really close. Let's not make an adjustment. Let's just weigh another powder charge.
And no adjustment. Good. Should I weigh that one or should we do another
let's
one?
weigh that one.
Okay. We're zeroed.
Son of a gun, 5'3" again. I think we're pretty well on.
Yeah, that's pretty good, Gary. All right.
So I would, if it was me, I would load 10 rounds and then go out to the range, shoot them, make sure that my gun cycles and see what my group size works. And then I would probably go up and down from that about 2/10 of a grain. So we're staying within the extreme spread of the manual and we're looking for functionality and group size.
Perfect. All right, guys. So remember, go up in small increments. The slower you take, the more time you take, the better and more precise your rounds are going to be, and you're going to waste less ammo and have fun at the range. Well, I don't know about you, but it's time to load up some rounds. What do you think?
Let's make some BBs.
All right, let's do it.